Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to embark on a journey, really alongside you, looking into something pretty fundamental.
Mhm.
Why do we sometimes, choose to suffer? Or maybe just stay stuck? And how can we shift towards, well, personal happiness and real fulfillment?
Yeah, it's a big one. We've been looking at some really interesting material, and the idea is to unpack it so it hopefully offers some genuine insights for your own life.
Exactly. We're diving deep into those forces, those things that can kind of hold us back from living a really vibrant life.
That's right. And a lot of the insights we've gathered really crystallize around the story of one person, Daria. She's 33, married.
Right. And on the surface, her life looks, well, pretty stable, doesn't it?
Totally. Steady factory job, got a home, mortgage, a husband who loves her. Seems okay.
But what the sources we looked at reveal is this really deep sense that something's off, something's missing for her.
Yeah, a real heartache, actually, stemming from experiencing two miscarriages and this powerful yearning to have children.
And as we start looking at Daria's situation, some really thought-provoking questions bubble up, don't they? For all of us, really.
Absolutely.
Like, could her current struggles somehow be tied to maybe unresolved stuff in her family history?
Hmm.
We learned her mother had two abortions, for instance. Could that history maybe subconsciously be casting some kind of shadow now?
It's definitely something to consider. And are there maybe fears or doubts that Daria herself isn't fully aware of? Things actually blocking her way forward.
Yeah, it really makes you pause and think, doesn't it? Have you, listening right now, ever felt that kind of gap between how your life looks and how it actually feels inside?
It's so common. And what's powerful about Daria's story is how it zooms out pretty quickly from just her specific desire for kids.
Right.
It touches on this much bigger struggle so many of us face, this difficulty in really truly believing we deserve to be happy,
Mhm.
regardless of the circumstances.
That is such a core question for you, the listener, to consider. Just take a second. Ask yourself honestly, do you believe you deserve happiness? Like
Yeah.
deep down, no buts, no conditions.
Yeah.
Because the material we've explored really hammers this home. If that basic belief isn't there, it creates this void. And no amount of external success, no job or house can really fill it for you.
hmm And what's really insightful from what we've studied is how these limiting beliefs can actually be like inherited, passed down through families, often without anyone meaning for it to happen.
Right. Like that comment from Daria's mother.
Exactly. She apparently once said, "We can't afford another child." Now, that came from her own specific situation, her reality then.
Sure.
But those kinds of statements, they carry weight, don't they? They can inadvertently shape how a child sees what's possible for them, what they're worthy of.
Uh-huh. So these beliefs just get kind of baked into your worldview,
Yeah,
how you feel about yourself, and they're running in the background, maybe?
totally. Operating beneath the surface,
Mm-hmm.
often completely outside your conscious awareness.
It's like they build these invisible walls around you, holding you back from what you really want. And you might not even see the walls are there.
Yeah, exactly. And a big part of the mortar holding those walls up, fear,
Ah, okay. So fear plays a big role here.
definitely. In Daria's case, it showed up as this really intense guilt. Guilt about her husband's potential unhappiness because she couldn't conceive.
Wow.
She even thought of divorce, apparently. Believing he deserved someone who could give him children. Thinking she wasn't enough.
Gosh, can you imagine carrying that kind of weight, that feeling of responsibility?
It's heavy. And it really shines a light on a key insight for you listening.
Yeah.
When you settle for less than you deserve. When you play small.
Yeah.
It doesn't just hurt you.
Right.
It unintentionally impacts the people around you too. Your partner, your loved ones. They want the full you. The authentic, joyful you. Not a diminished version.
That really does make you stop and think, what would happen? What could happen if Daria or you, listening right now, actually allowed yourself to dream again? To reconnect with those passions maybe you put aside, to sing or create or love fully, live fully without holding back.
Yeah.
The material we looked at poses this really potent question for you. If you truly embraced your desires, would the universe just like fight you on it? Or would it maybe rally around you, support you?
It's a perspective shift, isn't it? A
Yeah.
potentially transformative one.
Absolutely. And it's interesting when you look back at Daria's life before she moved to Moscow, before the factory job.
Yeah. What was she like?
Well, the sources suggest a really vibrant, creative person, singing, performing, hosting events. Her life had this creative energy.
Ah, okay. So that was there before.
It was. But then somewhere along the way, chasing stability, maybe meeting external expectations, it seems like those inner passions got muted. sidelined.
Does that sound familiar to you listening? Have you ever felt that kind of pull between what your soul wants and what seems like the sensible or safe choice?
I think most people have felt that pressure, yeah. How often do we silence those inner whispers because they seem impractical or too risky?
hmm Or just not what society or maybe our family expects from us.
Yeah.
There's real pressure sometimes to choose security over, well, over passion or fulfillment.
Which brings us right back to that critical question for you. What might actually open up if you did let yourself dream again? What could unfold if you dared to step outside those limits you might have unconsciously accepted?
Okay, so if someone listening is feeling this, feeling stuck, wanting to change, what then? How do you actually start dismantling those walls? How do you reconnect with those buried dreams?
Well, the good news is the resources we examined offer some really practical first steps, things you can actually do.
Okay, good. Actionable stuff.
Exactly, not just theory. So one simple but powerful thing is using affirmations.
Ah, okay. Like positive self-talk.
Yeah, just taking a few moments each night, maybe before sleep, and consciously stating, I allow myself to be happy. Saying it, feeling it, it starts to gently rewire that core belief.
Makes sense.
Then there's the maybe slightly harder step of identifying your blockers.
Hmm. Facing the resistance.
Right. Actually sitting down, maybe with a pen and paper, and listing out your fears, your doubts, those obligations that feel really heavy.
Getting them out of your head and onto the page.
Exactly. Just seeing them clearly can be powerful. And then you can start to ask, okay, what here am I actually ready to let go of? Maybe right now.
I like that. Conscious release. Okay, what's next?
Visualization is another fantastic tool for you.
Okay, imagining the future you want.
Yes, but really vividly. Spending time picturing yourself achieving those dreams. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Get into the emotion of it. Feel the joy, the success. It builds belief. It makes it feel possible.
Yeah, bridging the gap between wanting it and believing it can happen.
Precisely. And finally, maybe the most important thing, small actions.
Ah, the baby steps.
Yes, it can feel totally overwhelming to look at a huge goal, but just taking one small, consistent step every day, that builds momentum.
Right. It proves to yourself the change is happening, even if it's incremental.
Exactly. Little by little, it adds up to significant shifts. And Daria's journey, as we sort of pieced it together, really underlines that this kind of transformation takes courage.
It's not passive.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It means being willing to look inward, face those uncomfortable truths maybe you've avoided,
Yeah.
and then making a conscious choice to move forward, even when it feels uncertain or difficult.
And it's crucial to acknowledge it's not always going to be smooth sailing, right? This
Yeah.
path can be challenging.
Definitely.
But the underlying message, the thing we really hope you take away from this deep dive, is that it is profoundly worth it.
Yeah.
Life isn't just about getting by or enduring. It's meant to be lived fully with joy, love, laughter, those moments that just take your breath away.
Whatever that looks like for you, whether it's family or a creative expression or a deeper spiritual connection or just peace, finding that deep inner peace.
Absolutely. And the power to create that life, it really does reside within you.
That is such a key takeaway. The limits we feel, so often they're the ones we've put there ourselves.
Self-imposed.
You have this incredible capacity to build a life that truly resonates, a life that goes way beyond those perceived barriers.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, here's a final thought for you to chew on. What if staying stuck, staying in that place of unhappiness, what if that's actually its own kind of comfort zone?
Ooh, interesting. Like familiar misery.
Sort of. A way to avoid the vulnerability, the uncertainty that comes with truly embracing happiness and stepping out onto that unknown path toward your dreams.
That's a powerful question to sit with. Definitely something worth exploring in your own quiet moments.
For sure. And if you do want to explore these themes more, self-discovery, breaking free from limitations, that kind of thing, you can find more explorations that might resonate over on my channel, The Awakening Spirit.